Now I want to look at putting hatching into our foundation plan. So, let's look at our layers and see what we've got. I'm going to click on this Layer Properties button. In our layers, you'll notice there are two of them that have hatch in them. One of them is just plain hatch. That's the one you want. And it has a line type that's a continuous line type. And you will also notice that hatching uses a thinner line weight than other lines. So we have thick, thin, and really thin. So a hatch is the layer that we want for doing our hatching. And while I'm in here, I can just click on this button right up here to make it current. Or I could have dropped down this layer list and clicked on it to make it current. Alrighty. Now let's go look at hatching. And in the Draw panel, there's a thing that says hatching right there. So I'm going to click that button. And here is a pattern called solid. I'm going to click on that one because that's what I want for my posts that are sitting on top of my pier blocks. Solid. Okay, that's my pattern. Solid. Now I need to select a boundary to put my solid hatching in, and I am going to click this Pick Points button. And when I click inside a post, it turns solid. And I'll enter. Now let me do that again, and I'll show you something else about this hatching. So I'm going to stay with the solid. I'm going to pick points. And now watch what happens if I pick several all at once, because I'm being super efficient, thinking, oh, I'll do this all at once. Okay, so there I've hatched 4 posts. What I have done is I have made all of those hatching patterns one object. Notice how when I click on that hatching, there's one grip point right here in the middle. These are all hatching in the same object, and if I move them, they are all the same pattern. So you can think about, do you want each one to be separate, or do you just want to make the whole darn thing one hatch pattern? Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and finish this just to be thorough. I'll make them all one hatch pattern, although I may regret that later. Okay, oops, forgot my posts in here. These are hard to zoom in on. Okay, now let's hatch the concrete wall. So let's go back to our hatch toolbar. I'm going to click that. And now we want to look for a different pattern. I'm going to see here in this panel it says pattern. I'm going to click that down. And here you can see in the list, here's a thing that begins with AR for architectural, and then -CONC for concrete. So this is the architectural concrete hatch pattern. I'm going to select that, and now I'm not clicking, I'm just coming over here and waving my mouse around, and you can see that that concrete pattern looks like dots with little triangles. Now, oops, dadgummit, go back here. So a concrete. The rule about hatching is the hatch scale is supposed to match your viewport scale, but I am not able to get that to work. I'm obviously missing something. So what I do, don't do this at home, kids, but this is what I do. I just try scales out and see if I can find something that looks right, which is the wrong way to do it, but that's all I know how to do. So I could try just leaving this at 1. What happens if I make it 2? It looks a little bit more reasonable. See, I should be able to type 64 and have it work, but it just doesn't. Okay, I'm going to set my hatch scale at 2 just because. And now I'll pick points, and I'll pick in between these walls of the foundation. I'll click once here. And notice I've put in a crawl space down here at the bottom corner, and so the hatch is not filling in the crawl space. That's what I want. So that was good that I put in those crawl space lines first. Otherwise, I'd have something I don't want. Okay, now I'm going to hatch again to do my stem wall down the middle of my building. And this time, notice I've got my posts, my pier posts in the middle there. So each time I click, it has a new boundary in between the posts. Doo-dee-doo. All right, so there's my hatching. I put a solid hatch in the posts, and I put AR concrete in between the walls. The end.